One of the unique things about Limpopo-Lipadi is the very simple fact that it is located in Botswana. If you know a little bit of the history of Botswana, you would know that Botswana stands out head and shoulders above all of its Southern Africa and even other African neighbors with regards to political issues, excellent leadership, um, very good social and economic growth and principles. Botswana is just in another class. It is, some people have described it as the Switzerland of Africa. It is very unique in so many ways. Now, yes, it is the most politically, socially, and economically stable country in Africa, a legacy built from the last four or over the last four generations of Khama leadership, from King Khama to his grandson Seretse, who married British lady Ruth uh, Khama, and then to their son Ian Khama, who's now the current president. Democratic elections every 4 years, no history of tribal wars or political unrest all the way since the independence in 1966. Absolutely a model country showing what can be done in Africa, and that there is also success stories in Africa. Botswana is a huge success story. It's the size of France, but with a population of about 1.6 million, so very few people, probably the size of Paris all over the whole country. The economy has an average growth of more than 6.4% a year since independence in 1966, which is phenomenal. Of course, since the diamonds were discovered in 1967, that forms the backbone of the economy, but also ecotourism is seen as a major economic contributor through the nature parks and high-end tourism projects that Botswana launched. Botswana's got one of the lowest crime rates in the world and rated as the least corrupt country in Africa by Transparency International. And you do experience that whenever you travel in Botswana. There is just no threat of hijackings, carjackings, or theft in that country. You just feel so safe and so at peace in Botswana. Botswana has a very clear and stable policy on land ownership, which has not changed since the independence over the last 40 years. See, 97% of all agricultural land is owned by the government in community trusts, and only 2.5% can be owned as full title. Most of that land would be in the Tuli block, but there's also other spots in Botswana where you can own land full title. So you can imagine that, therefore, owning land at full title in Botswana is very exclusive. And since there is no indication that the government will enlarge that area of freehold land, it would probably stay very exclusive during the years to come. Of course, there's a lot of land available through concession, hunting concessions, etc. But those are, you never really own the land, and so it's a temporary measure. So all farms which make up the Limpopo-Lipadi Game and Wilderness Reserve in our Tuli area are freehold or unencumbered or privately owned by the owners. There is a foreign or foreigners can own land if they have Botswana partners like we do in Limpopo-Lipadi as well. Botswana government has a very strong passion for wildlife conservation and the will to implement it, because there's a huge difference. So 29% of the land dedicated to nature reserves in Botswana is in Botswana. That's the highest figure percentage-wise in the world in any country. So a definite focus on wildlife conservation, and therefore, again, a legacy that we could come in and build on with Limpopo-Lipadi, where we are accepted with open arms with this kind of vision, where there is an opportunity for us to actually make a difference. I mean, one of the issues uh, of breeding with rhino in Botswana that just makes it so much easier is that we've got full backing from the government and the military to protect those rhinos and to fight against any anti-poaching or fight against any poaching situations with regards to rhino. And of course, Botswana has the most fantastic people, very kind, very friendly people. Every time you visit, you just experience that. There is an absolute sense that you are welcome as a visitor, and people love to engage and just share their wonderful lives. And I think we've seen a picture of that in the books on Mahramotswe of Gaborone and the First Lady Detective. There's a whole series of those books available and out, and you might have read some of them. And it gives a little bit of the friendly nature and high morals of the Botswana people, or the Motswana, as we call them.